The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt. So guys, grab a martini, and girls, grab your bikinis, because we're talking Pierce Brosnan's Bond.
James Bond.
James Bond.
Nice.
That was good.
Thank you.
I like it.
Ian Fleming's James Bond 007.
This is my first martini ever. I've
Really?
never had a martini.
And
I can see why it's good.
It doesn't have any like stuff in it.
it's all booze.
There's no black licorice in it at all.
Oh, thank God. No, that's not bad. It's very smooth.
Yeah, it's just booze.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast. This week, we're talking Pierce Brosnan's Bond, James Bond, and I'm joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader 74 is here. Welcome, sir.
Well, hello there, Moneypenny.
Oh, hey. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
James, you dog.
I'm the dame herself, Ambassador of Estrogen,
Oh,
Jude.
hello.
How are you doing? Thank you so much for the martini.
You are so welcome,
I love
sir.
your tuxedo as well.
Thank you.
Oh, you did? You went and
I
changed.
did.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Thanks.
Okay.
And the frustrated producer, Matthew Kiddish. Welcome, sir.
I too am in my casual tux
What
to
is
celebrate,
going on?
celebrate James Bond.
They keep us out of the loop.
They do.
And I just want to remind everyone to sign up for our newsletter at saltylist.com so that we can stay in touch with you guys. And should we ever get kicked off of YouTube, we will let you know where we end up.
We'll let you know what t-shirts we're wearing ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't. We decide that day.
Go to, speaking of, saltynerdstore.com. Grab our t-shirts.
Best T-shirt ever.
Klingon Lives Matter. Also, this one, if you want to do the classic logo, we have one of these too. But anyway, hey guys, we are talking Pierce Brosnan's Bond, Goldeneye, The World Is Not Enough, and
Die
Another Day.
It's all the same thing. It don't matter.
Yeah, well, the titles get kind of confusing after a while. But anyway, so join us for that. Before we get into it, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we're going to dive into the first movie, Goldeneye. Welcome back. Hey, if you want to support the podcast, I'm kind of slurring my words. If you want to support the podcast, go to saltynerdclub.com. That is where the action happens, guys. You guys get 4 exclusive podcasts every single month made for the patrons, by the patrons. You guys get to pick our new strategy going into 2022. We're going to be doing some legacy Farscape, like Stargate stuff, Doctor Who.
Legacy sci-fi.
Yeah, legacy sci-fi. We're going back a little ways, and we're going to do some classic stuff that I don't think gets enough attention right now, and we're going to talk about it. So if you want to join the club membership, also in December, the month of December, 30 days only, maybe 31, I can't remember. It's a special gift for our top tier patrons. If you guys join the $30 tier membership, you guys are going to get an exclusive members only hat that is only going to be 50 of them. That's all we have is 50 hats. That's it. Limited edition. And you're also going to get a certificate of authenticity that comes with it that labels you as a
Saltine.
A saltine. I guess that's what we're going with. It's kind of goofy, but whatever. So join up, help the podcast, and we get to make awesome content for you guys. And our goal, of course, is to do this full time. If you don't want to go through all that nonsense and you just want to support us a little bit, you can go to Apple iTunes and leave us a 5-star review.
The boys can be saltines and the ladies can be saltinas.
Ooh. a little Latino freaking flair on that one.
And then we have Salt X out there.
Is that like the Generation X guys, like the old folks?
No, it's like Latinx.
No, we're not doing. Shut up.
I don't get it.
Don't. Okay, hey guys, that's enough shilling for our own podcast. Goldeneye, the first Pierce Brosnan movie. Take it away, Jude. What is this one all about?
All right, sir. 1995, Goldeneye, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours, 10 minutes. This had a budget of $60 million, 60. What do you think this brought into the box office?
170 million.
200 million.
The box office was $352 million.
Oh,
yeah.
People were thirsty for some James Bond.
Yes. I love this movie.
This was right after Remington Steele, right? How long after Remington
Oh,
Steele?
Remington Steele, I feel like, was late 80s, early
this was
90s.
his
Oh,
first Bond
the Brosnan thing? Yeah, this is his first Bond movie.
No. So Remington Steele was, I believe, 1982.
Really?
And so originally they wanted Pierce Brosnan in the 80s to be Bond, particularly because of the success of Remington Steele. He was super popular. He was British. He was good looking. And he couldn't get out of his contract for Remington Steele. And so the role ended up going to Timothy Dalton. And Timothy Dalton was the Bond of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And what
He
happened?
did 2 Bond films?
He did 2 Bond films, and after License to Kill, the Bond franchise got caught up in court cases and litigation that basically put a freeze on Bond films for the foreseeable future. And it wasn't until 6 years later that they got all the legal stuff cleared up and they were able to go back into production. But by then, Timothy Dalton had moved on, and he was just like, I don't want to be Bond anymore. And so they decided to go back and recast the Bond. And at this point, Pierce Brosnan was now available. And so they were like, well, we fumbled the ball the first time around. Let's get Pierce to come back. And Pierce Brosnan is the only Bond, or I should say he's the first Bond actor to have an entire decade to himself. So
wow.
the 90s belong to Brosnan.
I don't understand how any actor would go, I'm tired of playing James Bond.
Well, yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, come on, Timothy Dalton.
I hate martinis and banging chicks.
Just make it water. It looks the same.
So one,
Peekaboo thinks you're crazy. Okay.
one of the things about playing James Bond is that while you're contractually obligated to play Bond, at least this is the way they used to do it, you couldn't be in any other movies because they didn't want their Bond to be confused with other stuff. They just wanted him to be Bond. And so as long as Timothy Dalton was Bond, he wasn't allowed to go off and make other films. He could only do stuff in the Bond franchise. And once it got into the court and they weren't able to do anything, he was like, I'm stepping away so I can do other stuff.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I never knew
What
that.
else
I don't
did
know,
he
man.
do?
You back up a freaking
What
truckload.
else did he do?
I have no idea. You back up a truckload to me and say, here's a bunch of money. Don't be anything but Bond until we tell you otherwise. I'd be like, all
I'm
right.
not going to lie. When you say the name Timothy Dalton, I think of James Bond, and I don't think of any other thing that he's been in.
Yeah.
That's true.
But-
Let me tell you what it's about.
Oh, yeah, please. Go ahead.
Lord Eddard Stark is a double agent who dies in the first scene, but comes back years later to cockblock James and not Dina Meyer, who looks good as hell as a Russian.
Wait, what?
That's not Dina Meyer.
Oh, I thought it was.
No.
I thought you freaked me
No,
out. there for a
She's
second.
the actress who's not Dina Meyer.
That almost got another half star.
Yeah, she was the not Dina Meyer from Reign of Fire.
Reign of Fire.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's her name.
Wait. I'm very confused right now. Who is the chick from Reign of Fire? Who plays?
I don't know her name. Her name is not Dina
No,
Meyer.
no, I know, but like, what does she play in this movie?
So she's the Russian programmer.
The Russian good girl.
Oh, holy
She
shit.
looks hella good.
Yeah, she's fire.
Oh, wow.
She's fine as hell, but let me continue.
Oh, sorry. Go
Sorry.
ahead. Yeah.
Famke Jensen uses her thank you thigh master legs to sexy kill dudes praying mantis style. Alan Cumming is a supercomputer hacker working for the bad guys and holds the codes to the weapons program Goldeneye. But not Dina Meyer is just savvy enough to guess that the password to the program is the answer to a riddle about ass. She teams up with 007 to crack the codes while James cracks the skulls. It's a plan so crazy, it just might work.
I freaking love this movie. I
Really?
love Pierce Brosnan is my Bond, dude. This is my
This
generation.
was so much fun.
Yeah, this movie is great. The Russians are the bad guys. I mean, you can't get any more James Bond than this.
This is a first watch. for
Really?
me.
No kidding.
All of these were. I'm not a James Bond girl. The first James Bond movies I watched was for the podcast.
Oh,
when it was
wow.
Sean
When
Connery.
it was Sean Connery,
so
yeah.
I haven't watched any more since.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah.
This is funny because we always joke about like how the movies that are on my rotation, I'll watch them and then we'll talk about them on the podcast. Be like, oh yeah, I just watched it. Like, that's Goldeneye.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these movies right now, all the Brosnan Bonds are on Amazon Prime. So
For
like,
free.
For free. Well, yeah, if you're a membership. So they've been on my rotation for the last couple of months, and I've just been going through the Pierce Brosnan Bonds. And then we were like, hey, let's do a Brosnan week. I'm like, hell yeah. So,
yeah.
but I watched this. I probably before the podcast, I've probably watched this movie 4 times in the
I'm
last
just really impressed
month or
with
so.
how you can say Brosnan Bonds so smoothly. It
Bro-
just fell off your tongue like
Brosnan
a martini.
Bonds. He's
Can,
my
can you say it like Sean Connery?
Brosnan Bond.
Brosnan Bond. Yeah, I
He's
get,
no Bond compared to me. I don't know.
there's no other Bond besides Sean Connery.
You always remember your first Bond.
Well, it was funny because Roger Moore visited the set of this movie when it was being shot, and he came on the set and he's just like, "Yeah, things aren't working out with Brosnan, so they called me back in."
No,
fun.
I think Pierce Brosnan freaking, especially in this movie, fit the bill perfectly. He's handsome.
man.
He's very British, and he's also a badass. Like, I remember like the older Bonds always being a bit goofy for me. Like watching them, like, oh man, that's some tongue in cheek, like really, really sci-fi goofy stuff. This is the one
like
where
Moonraker?
Yes, like Moonraker. This movie, I felt like they went back to like Sean Connery's era. Where
Really?
like, yeah, I feel like they went back to the suave, kind of smooth, but also a badass.
I classed the joint up.
Yeah, they classed it up a little bit and they took things more seriously, which I think is where Goldeneye shines. Because they took themselves very seriously in this. Also, I'm gonna talk a lot because I'm a huge fan of freaking
That's
Pierce
fine.
Brosnan.
Go for it.
I judge every single Bond movie based off of whether or not I can sit through the entire opening song.
Okay, that's fair.
If
That
I-
is
if-
fair
if-
as hell
yeah.
because like this I don't even think I clocked as being like overly long. And like the next two that we're going to talk about, I was like, what the hell
Yeah.
is going on? And I really wanted to fast forward them, but Kadish wouldn't let me.
Yeah, yeah. If I can sit through an entire opening song for a James Bond movie, I'm pretty much on the level where
Who's
I'm like,
saying Goldeneye?
I have no clue. No idea
I
whatsoever.
was listening to it. And I want to say it's like
Goldeneye.
Tina Turner, maybe, but I'm not 100%
I'll look it
sure.
up right now.
Frickin'.
But like the thing is, I feel like a theme song should fit seamlessly into a movie.
Yes.
And I didn't even realize that this had its own theme song. Whereas the
yeah.
other two movies, it's like it feels just really forced.
I
Well,
think
one of
that's
the one of the hallmarks of the Brosnan Bond era is that the producers basically looked at the opening song as like the big soundtrack push because in the 90s like more money was made off of soundtracks than the movies pretty much, and so they used the opening sequence to play an entire like 2 to 3 minute song in order to hype it up and get like big artists to do it and stuff like that, and so like this was like the start of that, and it wasn't as obnoxious as it got towards the end.
Oh my gosh,
of his
yeah.
run.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the last one because that was freaking
It's just
ridiculous. But
I thought that the whole theme song was just a thing through all James Bond.
it
movies.
is. It's a staple of James Bond movies. But I'm saying is like whether or not I can sit through the entire thing without getting annoyed is kind of gives me a gauge of whether or not the movie is going to be good. Because this movie, like especially if they have hot chicks dancing like they do in this one,
Well, that's a Bond.
I'm in. No, it stops being a Bond thing. Because freaking, for whatever reason,
until they get woke or
misogyny.
something?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Misogyny comes in and you're like, you can't have hot chicks dancing
no.
anymore.
You can't mix wokeness with James Bond.
They
you cannot do that.
I'm sorry. I'm
You
the
don't think
first
so?
person to call patriarchy where I see it. But this is James Bond. This is exactly what it's supposed to
Yeah,
be.
exactly.
And sexy girls dancing
Yeah.
is
But
part
after
of it.
after a
just a
certain
real
point,
quick
they
question.
stopped doing that.
Like
do
James
they
Bond
not-
Hold
is
on.
banging chicks throughout all of the movies.
Hold on,
So.
Do they
talking
not?
over each
Do
other.
they not have hot chicks in
In the new ones?
In the
No.
new ones?
No.
In the
Daniel
Those
Craig-
Bond girls?
Daniel Craig does not have a single opening sequence with a hot chick.
with
in
like
it.
chicks with their like
Nope.
nipples poking through the
Nope.
freaking shirts and
Wait.
stuff. What? Get out of here.
No, wait. But
Not
there's
Bond.
no Bond girls in
No,
the
there's
new ones?
Bond girls in the
Okay.
movies.
We're talking
Okay.
about the opening
sequence.
Okay, no,
So-
but I'm wondering about
Like
the
in
whole thing.
this one, it was like hot chicks shooting guns, and in The World Is Not Enough, it's hot chicks covered in oil.
Mm-hmm.
Each Bond movie has like the sexy dancing chick in the
Yeah.
opening sequence. Daniel Craig's, I think, was the first one where they stopped doing that. It was
Which
just
is probably why I blanked out any Daniel Craig movies that I watched.
I love Daniel Craig as James Bond. His movies not perfect by any means, but him as James Bond, I'm in. I really enjoy his movies, even the shitty ones. I really enjoy them.
Which they all are.
They're not. No, Casino Royale is freaking dope, dude. You're crazy. Anyway, so Goldeneye. This movie is like the perfect freaking Bond movie for me. Besides like a Sean Connery, like Sean Connery
It is one of the best Bond.
It's one of the best Bond movies. Goldeneye was freaking awesome. I love the chase scenes. I love the hot freaking crazy.
I love her.
Famke Jensen?
she's
so hot.
She's
right?
so
She's
crazy.
hot. She's crazy
yeah,
hot.
she's crazy hot.
She like fuck you to death. man.
Where's the graph? Where's the crazy hot graph? Right. So if you're above
Yeah.
a certain line, you're crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need one of those for her because she's at the top of the charts. But everything about this movie worked. I think Pierce Brosnan was freaking rocking
On a
on
scale
all
of 1
cylinders.
to 10 on the hot crazy scale, she's a 21.
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
And this was like her first big breakout movie.
Yeah.
Like nobody had
I
heard
was-
of her until like this movie came out.
I was very excited when I saw that she was in this because I love Famke Jensen and I love it when she. Tatunka.
She's not
So
a.
when I saw that she was in this, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
she's in this.
And not
we
only
can't-
is she in this, but damn, she's in this movie.
Yeah.
she is in. But Kadish was like, yeah, this was like her first like big breakout role. So I was so excited to see her.
Yeah.
She looks so young in it.
and
And
I-
she's crazy hot.
And I turned to Judah. I was like, guess what her name is?
Ivanka on the top.
No, Xena on the top.
Xena on the top. That's right. Ivanka is the awesome.
I was trying to
I love all the misogynistic names for the chicks in Bond movies.
You know what? It's funny because I know this is kind of goofy. We don't normally go into politics, but I wanted to mention this a little bit because I know a lot of people complain about the new Bond movies being freaking woke culture, whatever. Yeah. This movie I thought was, I gone back and watched this movie, and when M shows up and it's a new female M, and they all make a big deal about, oh, the new M's female. Did you see James Bond? And she sits down at her desk and she's like, "You're a misogynist pig."
A holdover from
the old era. Also, you're a badass. Go do your job.
Didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me at all.
Didn't bother me either.
I was like, okay.
It doesn't hurt that they got Dame Judi fucking Dench.
Oh,
yes,
God.
Judy fucking Dench.
I dare you to say a word against Dame Judi Dench. Dame Judi Dench.
Too many martinis.
You'll die in your sleep if you talk shit about her.
Dude, Judi Dench is such a badass in
they
this
will
movie.
unplug you
Look,
in
man,
your Matrix pod.
There's one thing I noticed through all these movies that made me feel super old, because you know who the one chick that I really liked in all these movies?
Moneypenny?
Moneypenny.
Moneypenny
It's like,
is
oh my
looking
God,
old.
Moneypenny's kind of hot, but I'm 50. So I'm looking at the 45-year-old going, okay.
Which one is it where she's having the fantasy? Is it this one?
No, it's
that's Die Another
Okay,
Day.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm liking me some Moneypenny nowadays.
I like the new Moneypenny. I think she's hot.
It's weird.
Her
It's just-
haircut is terrible. I'm sorry.
no, it's not this one.
I'm gonna go start.
Oh, okay.
The Butch haircut is the second movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go start looking at gilf porn.
Okay, we're moving on.
Grannies. I'm getting weird.
I can tell you a few accounts to follow.
Okay, cool. Talk to you
Jesus,
later.
what the fuck?
V likes to get weird.
Oh, you guys are both weird.
I'm a little weird.
Anyway, I don't know, dude. This is like the perfect freaking Bond movie. The car, the gadgets.
The perfect one?
It's really freaking good, dude. I love Goldeneye. Anytime where Russians are the bad guys, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong.
It's hard to go wrong with that, dude.
And this was the first post-Cold Civil War Bond movie as well.
Yeah. It came off the 1989 like freaking Cold War shit, and then we get Bond talking about Russians taking over the
I
world.
like the CIA guy. Yeah, he was good.
That was, you talking about the guy from Tarantino's movies? That's the next.
No.
That's two movies away.
No, he's not. He's
talking about. I think this guy was a senator.
No,
right?
he's talking.
edit stuff.
He's talking about Joe Don Baker as Jack Wade.
Hey there, man. How you doing? Yeah, I'm from the CIA. You know. I'm from the South.
Yeah, he calls him Jimmy or
Hey,
Jimbo.
Jimmy or Jimbo.
Hey, Jimbo, come over here. Yeah, okay, yeah. I love him. Yeah, he's cool. But yeah, talking about Eddard Stark, Lord Sean Beam in this movie.
Yeah. So here's the thing with him.
Yeah.
If he's in a movie, I know he's going to die. So it's just.
Was this the beginning of
fair,
that?
Yeah.
No. Like this is throughout his career.
Well, I know, but like
Has he ever lived in any movie?
this movie is in the early 90s.
Guess who died?
Did he
Another
already?
day.
Did he have a history of dying in his movies before this one?
I don't know. I just know he dies in all his movies. So
He dies an epic death in this movie, though.
It's pretty good.
It's
Twice.
Yes,
he died
twice. Well, so I was watching this. I've seen it like 7 times now. This just for the past couple of weeks. And he I guess the opening scene where he got captured by the Russians and the guy shoots him. That's a fake out.
Yeah.
He didn't actually shoot. He already was a double agent at that point.
Yeah.
I was
He was in on it.
Yeah, he was in on the joke the whole time, and then he fakes his death. But then the explosion happens, and he gets his face all messed up. And then he goes on his tirade and tries to freaking take down MI6 and stuff. So I don't know. The villains were on point. What's her name? Famke. She's one of the best freaking femme fatales in a Bond movie.
I just want to talk about her
Femme
for an
fatale.
hour.
Femme fatale.
Femme fatale.
Femme fatale.
Yes.
Femme fatale.
Thank you.
That's a noir.
I've been drinking too much.
You've been drinking too much, buddy.
I love everything about her in this. Her hair is amazing. Her eyebrows are amazing. I'm just going to go from the top down.
Dude, the sauna
her hair,
scene?
her eyebrows, her eye makeup. I've never been able to pull off a dark look like
the
that.
shadow.
Oh my God, she's amazing. She can do a dark eye and a dark lip. Fuck you, fuck that.
She is pretty hot.
Did you know that originally Courtney Cox was set to play
I can totally see it.
Xena on
Courtney
top?
Cox.
Really?
No.
Yeah,
I
she could
feel
pull
like
it
her whole career would have been different afterwards.
Different career.
Yeah.
Totally. But you know who was hotter? The redheaded Russian program.
She's amazing.
I know,
not
right?
Dina Meyer?
She is on fucking fire
I love her.
throughout
Discount
this
Dina
whole
Meyer.
movie.
Discount Dina
I'm
Meyer?
like, who is that
It's
chick?
sometimes
Because
her hair
she
looks
is
red and
banging.
sometimes
No,
it looks brown.
in
And
this-
I'm like, I don't even care. You are amazing.
I'll take homicidal Famke over the Russian
You
chick.
gonna risk it?
Yeah. I'll risk it. I'll take a squeeze.
You should,
Dude, oh my God, the puns are on point in this movie, dude.
If you're going to have sex with killer Famke Jensen,
Yeah.
you need to be on the bottom. It's the only way you're going to survive.
No, but that dude, the Russian admiral or whatever, he was on bottom. He didn't survive.
Oh, shit.
She squeezed the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he had like that fucked up face after he got.
And that scene where
Can you think of a way you'd rather go out, though?
No.
that scene where she's like kind of tussling with Bond in the steam room,
The sauna, yeah.
in the sauna.
Get those thighs away.
she actually Famke Jensen actually broke a rib in that scene.
No
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah, because she was like, she told Brosnan, she's like, just be rough with me, like let's make this real.
bet she did.
Yeah.
No.
I'd tell
kinda
Famke
like
to
her
be
now.
rough with me, man.
Well, what's funny about this movie is that originally first of all, this is the first Bond movie not based on one of Ian Fleming's books.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a completely original film, and they originally had developed it for Timothy Dalton because when they were getting ready to reboot Bond, they weren't sure if Timothy Dalton would be coming back. And Timothy Dalton's claim to fame, because he was my Bond growing up. He was the Bond of the 80s. And his whole thing was he took Bond back to a more grounded, realistic kind of take compared to Roger Moore, which was like way over the top.
He was the Bond that you know from back in Hollywood.
Yeah. So basically, once he decided that he wasn't coming back, Brosnan kind of stepped in. And it's kind of funny because this movie was so successful because people were thirsty for more Bond. And this was like a revitalization of the franchise. It was a new Bond. It was a new director who brought like amazing set pieces and interesting characters and stuff like that. But after this movie hit it big, they started kind of tailoring the stuff more to Brosnan, which meant more puns, more like bad one-liners,
yeah.
more over-the-top set pieces, more kind of weird henchmen and stuff like that.
I'm okay with the weird henchman. What we'll talk about later on when we talk about the last movie is the over-the-top gadgets. Kind of, I get lost.
Yeah. I mean, like Brosnan's whole kind of career as Bond is marked by just way almost Joel Schumacher level of over-the-topness, and it just gets worse and worse with each successive movie.
I can't wait to talk about how Christmas only comes once a year.
And basically, I can remember when this movie came out and people were just going like crazy over it. And I went to go see it in the theater. And when that tank scene happened, where Bond is basically doing the car chase with the tank and just running through buildings and stuff, the entire theater was losing it. They were like, "Oh my God, this is amazing.
America!"
And Martin Campbell, the guy who directed this, like he was given a lot of credit for, basically like making the Bond franchise cool again. And they brought him back for Daniel Craig's first outing as well. And they may bring him back for the next new Bond because like he's just got this reputation now for being the guy who revitalizes Bond whenever like they
switch actors.
He's the Q.
Dude,
he's the behind the scenes Q.
Yeah.
But Alex said that Brosnan is his Bond. And even though I grew up with Timothy Dalton, who's my favorite Bond, to me, Brosnan embodies Bond more than any other actor who played him because I was too young to really appreciate like Connery. So by the time I recognized just Sean Connery, he was doing other things than Bond. I never liked Roger Moore. Lazenby.
How dare you?
Yeah. Lazenby, like who the fuck is that guy? So like
I know,
to me, like I grew up on Dalton as Bond, but Brosnan, I think best embodied the character. And I love the Brosnan movies, even though I don't think any of them are all that good. Like this movie felt, all these movies feel like they're 6 hours long.
Okay, first of all,
and they're the embodiment of slaction film.
This is true.
any movie
This is
that's
very
over
true.
2 hours long, it's too fucking long.
Yeah.
Oh no, I disagree.
Unless it's the Lord of the Rings.
I'll give it to you later on. We'll talk about the third movie, which I have no appreciation for whatsoever. But this one, I'm not bored at all through this movie. I'm on the journey. I'm loving it. I'm having fun. I'm with a new Bond,
Yeah.
and his puns in this movie are like that perfect balance. Like when he's fighting with frickin' Onatop in the steam room, and he finally gets the upper hand. He pulls his frickin' gun. He goes, "No more foreplay," and I'm like, "That's frickin' Bond."
Yes.
That was perfect.
I wish I had watched this one first this week because I probably would have appreciated these movies a little bit more.
Yeah.
I watched this one last night. It was the last one I watched. And I don't know why, because I do know why. It's because Kadish made the list and he listed them in the wrong order.
You watched them in the order that he lists them?
I did. I don't know
You
why.
are a sheep.
I'm terrible. Because this is by far the best one of the three we
Oh,
watched.
It's
absolutely.
so fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in retrospect to what you said, like I did watch this one first, and then Kadish made me watch the worst one next.
Oh no.
And so by the end of it, I was just like, I felt like he was dragging me through. And I feel like that's the level of where Kadish likes to keep me in our relationship.
I reserved the worst one last for this because I already knew going in.
Well, it
gonna
was
be bad.
also the last one that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Brosnan did.
Yeah. So I know we got a couple
So
comments.
he made 4,
Yeah,
right?
4 of them.
And we watched 3.
Yes. So
So
I know
was
we
the
got
fourth one that we didn't watch. Is it worse than these 3?
No, the 4th one is the last one that he did.
Okay.
That was what ended his career as Bond.
Okay.
The one we missed was Tomorrow Never
didn't,
Dies.
it did not end his career. It was just like the last one that he chose to do before moving on.
And it was in the
we did
2000s.
not watch his second Bond outing, which was Tomorrow Never Dies.
Which is actually, I did watch it because when I was like, hey, we're doing Pierce Brosnan Bond, I watched all 4 of them. I just want to, I know we're not going to talk about the movie, but I just wanted to comment that movie, The Villain, is mainstream media.
Okay.
And I found that fascinating,
Interesting.
but we'll move on. Anyway, I lost my train of thought because I'm too drunk on freaking
Well,
martinis.
one of the interesting things about this film was that because it was for the 90s and it was like a big, like, oh, the old era is changing and this isn't, like we're going to have like women in power and Bond isn't going to be as misogynistic as he, was thought to be. So like there were a lot of progressive ideas in this
You can see
iteration
them.
of Bond. But it seems like they just keep getting worse and worse. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Barbara Broccoli kind of became more involved in the production of this stuff. And as like a woman of power in the movie industry, she wanted to kind of push that
What's her
agenda.
name? Barbara who?
Barbara Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Broccoli. Barbara Broccoli.
You can definitely,
Lady
like,
went downtown.
Broccoli.
She bought some broccoli.
Stop. Broccoli.
She bought it all.
Oh my God, you guys are goofballs. All right. So anyway, the big set piece at the end, and which is also in the Goldeneye video game that I have such nostalgic for.
Is that the one where you can play like in 4 screens? 4 people.
Yeah,
That was really
like
confusing.
the first. Not I can't say the first.
I always wanted to play the upper right, and I'd end up like playing in other screens and thinking I was watching somebody else.
Yeah, that
but it was
happens. That happens.
So-
But the big set piece, the dish that comes out of the lake, I thought that was when I was
cool.
a kid, dude. That was
I
the coolest shit
enjoyed
ever.
that.
Yeah, that was super cool.
So did you guys know who was up for the part of Bond before Brosnan kind of sealed the deal?
Ooh.
No
Could
idea.
it be mid-90s?
Mid '90s British actors.
Bruce Willis.
The Rock,
No, I have no idea.
No,
Well,
John Cena.
stop it.
oddly enough, so like there were some contenders who were kind of not quite in the running as others.
Wait. Alan Rickman.
Actually, he was in competition for the
The villain? Oh, that
I
makes
could see
sense.
that.
Sean Beams.
Yeah, Sean Bean's
Ooh,
role.
that would have been awesome.
That would've been pretty dope.
But he was at that point where he's like, I don't want to be typecast as a villain.
Bond.
But
Well,
So let's go play
you
Snake.
failed.
so Sam Neill was actually up for the role
Get
of
out.
Bond. Mel Gibson, who was recommended by Sean Connery, even though he's not British. But the guy who almost got it, who at the last minute kind of like stepped away because he didn't want to commit to it, Liam Neeson.
I can see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they made the right decision.
I'm not
He's a
complaining
little
about.
intense, but I feel like he could have pulled off.
I'm not complaining about Sean Beam at all, but I think Liam Neeson would have been dope.
Wait, Liam Neeson was up for
For
The
Bond.
villain.
Bond.
No,
Oh, for Bond?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got
Yeah, I
lost.
think
in
he
your
could have pulled off Bond. Look, there's Nadine Maya. She's so fucking hot.
She
She is freaking super hot, huh? How did I not notice? Oh my God, look at the freaking bikini model that he has. What's his name? Alan
Alan
Cummings?
Cummings.
He's freaking awesome. Invincible. And then another big great, we have to talk about Q in these movies.
Yeah.
Because I don't have
Old
a
Q.
old Q, right? Is he a leftover from
Yes.
old?
He,
Okay.
he was the only actor who went through all the Bond movies up
Okay.
until I believe the 18th or 19th.
Well, he got replaced by in the
By
next
John
one we watched.
Cleese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he,
But not so like he his last one was The World is not enough.
Yeah, the world's not enough. And he actually, I mean, I don't know if they knew he was going to retire or if he was like, hey, this is going to be my last movie or whatever, because he died shortly after that movie. Yeah, but that scene, we should wait until we talk about that movie. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a minute.
Isabella Scoruppo. She's Discount Dina Meyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's the one who plays like the main Bond girl in this film.
I don't want to call her Discount Dina Meyer because
she
she
better
can
than
stand
Dina
on
Meyer?
her own. I wouldn't say that either. She's just not Dina Meyer.
Okay.
She's
So
gorgeous.
let's be respectful. She's on fire.
Yeah, both Bond girls in this movie were
God,
gorgeous.
it's so
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what else to say about this
Like
movie.
honestly, she's pulling off that 90s haircut, which is not good, but this is the girl who should model that haircut.
Yep.
And can we talk about the opening scene real quick?
Where he jumps off a cliff.
the
Oh,
and
the
record-
car chase?
No.
It's the bungee jump.
The
off the
record,
dam.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
highest record bungee jump. I don't know if they've broken it since the 90s, but at the time they filmed this. It was actually the same stunt guy who was the helicopter pilot that Frank killed when she took over. That was the stunt guy. It was the black-haired dude. And he jumped off this freaking dam. That was all live. They
Did
filmed.
they film that at Hoover Dam? Because it
No,
looks
no,
like
no,
Hoover
no.
Dam.
It's not Hoover Dam.
No.
No?
But it was like a 700 and something foot
I think
bungee
it-
jump,
I
which
feel-
at the time
I
was the
feel like
highest
that-
whatever.
I feel like that dam is in Italy. It's a real place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and basically like the tension on the bungee cords, because it was like such a long like dive, was so extreme that they could only use the cords once, because otherwise like they wouldn't hold up.
Oh, wow.
So every time they had to do a different take, they would swap out the
Because of
cords.
safety.
So
And when he hits the bottom, he like you can see him kind of like flop. And the stuntman even said like that was rough, because like right after that I had to pull my gun out, and if you watch the movie, like he just gets it out just in time before he goes like past where the camera can see him, and he was like, thank God we didn't have to do that too many times.
Yeah.
I had
Because
to pull my gun out to tell them I'm not
Dude,
doing another fucking take of
I don't
that.
know if I've ever said this on the podcast before, but freaking stunt people deserve more money.
Seriously.
The stunt people who make movies look legit, scenes like that,
Yes.
give them all the money in the world. Pay them as much as the actors.
You are the people that make the movies.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think stunt people get enough credit. But anyway,
Or money.
Or money. That scene, the bungee jumping scene, and then the airplane scene that came after, that was also live where they flew off. And I mean, some of it was obviously some green screen and stuff when he was actually like getting into the plane. But that scene where
that was a practical stunt.
the practical stunt where he drives the freaking motorcycle off the cliff and then jumps after an airplane. What freaking, God damn it, this movie's awesome.
So you know what's funny is have you guys ever seen True Lies, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
Yeah.
So that movie came out a year before this one, and while they were shooting this movie, they discovered that the plot to Goldeneye was actually almost exactly like the plot to True Lies. And so they had to, while they were shooting, rewrite the script to change it so like it didn't look like a copy. And so like the actual production of this movie was kind of chaotic. Like apparently Martin Campbell, the guy who directed this, and Pierce Brosnan did not see eye to eye. They didn't get along with each other. And but they kind of had a respectful working relationship, even though they personally like butted heads a lot. So like it's amazing that this movie turned out as good as it did, in my opinion, because there's a lot of stuff in here. But Robbie Coltrane, you're a real wizard, Harry. Like he's in this
Hagrid.
movie. Yeah.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
they-
as
did
the
they
Russian
change-
gangster.
Did they change change them to Russians from Middle Easterns or something? Or?
I don't know what the deal was, but it was like the bad guy plot was just
Too similar.
kind of too similar. But I find it funny that like most of the Brosnan era bad guy plots just have to do with giant freaking lasers. Because like the after Goldeneye came out, that's when Austin Powers came out, and it was lampooning the stuff that they were actually doing.
There's scenes straight from this movie that are Austin Powers
Oh,
scenes.
yeah,
Like that-
we have to do it, Austin Powers.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, someday we absolutely will. Mike Myers is Austin Powers.
I'll
is
make you
freaking genius.
horny, baby.
I'm going to serve you some tequila.
We're gonna get
Oh, no, you're not.
we're gonna get so drunk during
Not
that
a good
episode. Anyway, okay, so obviously for me, I freaking love this movie. It's one of my top Bond movies ever. Pierce Brosnan is my personal Bond. He's the one I think, even though I like all the other ones, I think they all have their strong suits. When I watch a Brosnan movie, I'm freaking in, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
The female characters in this movie are freaking awesome. M is a badass in
love
this
him.
movie.
I
She's
really
so
do.
freaking cool.
I even like her in the new ones.
Yeah, Judi Dench is awesome.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
awesome.
she was the only character to kind of cross over into Craig's Bond.
Yeah. Is it?
Everyone else got recast.
She's a dame.
Which, I suppose we probably should talk about this at one point, but the whole theory that 007 James Bond is actually just a code name, and each person that comes in is just taking over that code. And
I don't think anybody has a real issue with that.
there's only one, maybe one or two things that poke holes in that is that there's a couple of storylines from the older Bonds where he has like a wife and he specifically targets this one bad guy. And it's like, there's reasons to argue that it's individualized.
But is the name James Bond part of the code? Like, is that just like the identity they step into?
I like that theory, and I think it works. But anyway, what did you think about this one, Bud? You give it a rating?
Of the three we watched this week, this is by far the best one. I don't know. Pierce Brosnan is not my Bond. I'm a Roger Moore guy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just am. But, I'm old. I'm older than you guys. I'm a Moonraker dude. You know?
Always freaking goofy, bro.
I like a little goofiness in my James Bond movies. I need some Jaws. I need some space shuttles and some lasers. And stuff. But no, this movie was fun. I didn't have a lot of issues with this movie. It was a little long. It felt like like Matt said earlier, they're starting to get into a little more of a slaction movie type of thing with these, in which they really just go full on into with the new movies. I don't even like the new movies.
No.
Oh,
wow.
But the spirit of Bond is here, and this is a fun movie, and the chicks are hot, and they're not into the whole political correctness shit yet.
Oh, I think they definitely are.
Really, you think so?
Dude, she straight up calls him a misogynist.
So, but I don't really. I wasn't offended at it.
I wasn't. Point. Yeah,
So Moneypenny's hot, and that '90s hairdo that she's got going on, dude. She's so hot. I just love her.
The bangs. Oh my god.
Oh man,
it's so funny.
Yeah, love
You're so old.
I know, dude.
I immediately see this and go, I think my mom had her hair like that at some point.
Well, I'd probably think your mom was hot.
Okay.
You could be my kid.
We're moving on.
We're 20 years older, so.
Oh my God.
You could be my kid. You really could.
How old are you? 50 something?
I'm 51.
I'm 33.
Yeah. My daughter's 32.
I gotta put the martini down. Jude, what did you think about this movie? I know, I was just joking.
Grade wise, it's the best of the week of these three. So I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I'm gonna go 3.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
3 stars.
Jude, how about you? Final thoughts. Give it a rating.
This is my favorite of the 3 that we watched this week. For me, because my first James Bond was Sean Connery, that is still the Bond that I think of when I think of James Bond.
Totally acceptable.
But this was fun. This was a lot of fun. And everyone in this was fully committed and knew who their character was. And it was just fun. Like Famke Janssen was having the best time murdering people.
She got off on mowing people down with a machine gun.
The pure joy in her smile while she was killing people, or at least trying to.
Yeah.
Good for you, girl. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was great.
Right on.
Wait.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm freaking drunk. Sorry, Jude. Go ahead.
You drunk? No.
3 Bond girls out of 5.
Oh,
I wish there was 5 Bond girls. They were hot as hell.
Nice. Sean Connery had some freaking smoking hot chicks in his.
I'm getting some serious Dudley Moore vibes off you right now.
Yeah.
Who?
Exactly.
We'll tell you later.
Okay. Kadish, how about you, buddy?
Am I the only one who thinks that the word Goldeneye sounds like a weird sex act?
A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're a weirdo.
We'll do it later.
Did you guys hear about the Goldeneye?
We'll invent it.
Yeah, the James Bond and Dirty Sanchez is coming out next year.
This is a good Bond movie. It's probably one of the best Bond movies out there. I remember seeing this in the theater. It kind of revitalized the franchise after Timothy Dalton's era, which kind of almost tanked it. I love Brosnan as Bond. This was a fun movie. I'd probably give it 3 Goldeneyes out of 5.
Nice. Right on. Yeah, I totally agree. This is
real quick. I forgot to mention Vader. You know the train in this movie that Sean Bean has?
Mm-hmm.
On set, they called it the Darth train.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I can see that.
Nice callback. I totally agree. I'm going to give this a 0.5 star more than you guys. This is a 3.5 star movie for me because I adore Pierce Brosnan as Bond, so I'm going to give it an extra 0.5 star just because I like him as Bond. And that'll probably go through the rest of these movies too, even though they vary within their quality. I think Brosnan for me, embodies Bond perfectly. He sells it, man.
Yeah.
In every movie, the writing in the movies are kind of go down in quality as you go on with his career, but him as Bond works every single time for me. 3.5 stars for me. All right, guys, that's it for Goldeneye. Again, like I said, I kind of mentioned this before, but if you are an Amazon customer, these movies are available on Amazon Prime. I highly suggest go check out Goldeneye. Go revisit it. It's great. I have a lot of fun with it. Okay, before we move on to The World Is Not Enough, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you want to support the podcast and rock some freaking awesome swag, go to saltynerdstore.com. We've got the Klingon Lives Matter shirt that is also available on our store, Salty Nerd Club. Every dime that we get from the Salty Nerd Store merch, whether it's stickers or magnets or whatever, t-shirts or whatever, it goes right back into the podcast, and it goes to growing our quality and the amount of content that we are allowed to put out. Again, our main goal for this podcast is to go full time. So if you want to support us any way you possibly can, head over to saltynerdstore.com.
And in December, we have some exclusive Ghostbusters themed merchandise.
Oh, that's right. We're working on it right now. We're going to get some Ghostbusters Afterlife designs up there on the store that are only going to be available for December, I believe.
Only for December. We're going to have a couple's t-shirt that says Gatekeeper and Keymaster.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also going to have one that says Overstimulation Calms Me.
That's a great line from that movie. So if you like Ghostbusters as much as we did, head over to saltynerdstore.com and grab the swag. It's available right now. All right, that was weird. Why did I say that? Okay, right now. Okay, the next movie on our list.
Drunk Matthew McConaughey.
All right. Grab myself a martini and be freaking James Bond for a day.
Man, Matthew McConaughey, James Bond.
No, he's Texan.
I'm down. Let's do this. All right.
That's the Tito's talking.
Yeah. The next movie on our list today, guys, is The World Is Not Enough. Jude, take it away. What is this movie all about?
1999, The World Is Not Enough, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours, 8 minutes. This had a budget of $135 million. What do you think this brought in?
$350.
V?
Dude, the Bond girl in this movie.
Yeah. Which one was this?
Electra King.
Is this the
this is the third one.
The Russian pipeline one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 310.
361.
Yes.
Good job,
How
Matt.
come Matt never plays?
Because he already knows.
Because I
He
know
already
the answer.
knows.
He Googles this shit beforehand.
You want to know what it's about?
Of course I do.
All right then. Electra King was kidnapped by the guy from the Full Monty. And during their time together, he broke her mind along with the rest of her. She's real traumatized by her kidnapping, but also how her dad handled her ransom. So when her dad dies in a freak explosion murder, James makes it his prerogative to give her his special 24/7 in bed or out brand of safety. He thinks the kidnapper is back to finish the job Electra escaped from and is determined to bring the Full Monty down when suddenly he realizes Electra and Monty kind of talk alike. Turns out she was way more pissed at her dad than anyone realized and is in love with her kidnapper. They conspired to blow up her dad and have more up their sleeves. Electra double-crosses MI6 and sets out to dominate the world. Thank God, poor jilted James just met nuclear physicist Denise Richards, who's already heard every Christmas joke, so don't even bother. Discuss.
God, she was Denise Richards.
She
was awful.
was terrible in this movie. She was so
ruined,
cliche.
She ruined this movie for me.
I mean, I'm not complaining about looking at her in this movie.
Oh no, she's hot.
She's gorgeous.
Oh, she's beautiful.
She is gorgeous.
But her character.
She should just do this.
That's so misogynistic of you.
She can't act her way out of a paper sack.
Her acting brought this movie down.
Bless her heart. She is not good with the script.
Oh my gosh. What?
I detonated the bomb.
Yeah.
So therefore, you can now do
Brosnan's,
science things.
Brosnan's working overtime as James Bond in this movie.
He's trying really hard.
He's trying really hard. He's like, what do I need to defuse a nuclear bomb? You need me. It was so flat. Her delivery is so flat. But I still love this movie. I have a lot of fun with this movie.
It was a little bit of fun.
Electra King, holy freaking
dude.
Sophie Marceau.
12-year-old me can't get any better than this.
I feel like Kadish has some feels about her too because he has been talking about her all week.
Oh yeah, the way she pronounces the word Bond. It's so hot.
James Bond. Oh my God, dude. The Bond girls in this movie make up for the flaws.
Well, listen, man.
I think so.
I don't know. It's not enough for me.
The Bond girls in any movie better elevate the movie.
The Bond girls are not enough.
Because Bond girls are important to a James Bond movie.
Very important, yes. But yeah, as far as like the storyline goes, it was like a nice little intrigue. You know, there's some sabotage going on. There's some. I really enjoyed it. Bond, the whole movie Bond. I think he was like trying to make up for maybe Tomorrow Never Dies, because that movie's not that great. In this movie, he came back and he took it. I think he took it a little more seriously.
Was this his third movie? So
Yeah.
we didn't watch the second one.
Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah. So look at Moneypenny.
Oh, Moneypenny's haircut in this is not
It's
good.
terrible. That Butch haircut.
What are you talking about,
Dude, the Butch haircut.
looks
Come
good.
on,
She's
that
cute.
is so freaking like. If that happened today, they'd be like, oh my god, they're going
She'd be playing
freaking.
Captain Marvel.
Why they make him look?
You're saying she looks like a boy? I don't
I'll do it
see
myself.
High five, Jude.
I just-
That's freaking that
You're
is
not
100%.
wrong. You're not wrong, but she has enough makeup on her face.
Oh my
make up for all
god.
that stuff.
You are a misogynist.
That is
Put some makeup on that face.
no, dude.
But yeah.
That is Brie Larson-esque so
dude.
bad.
Well, you gonna say the same thing about
She
M?
smiles a bit more.
M's
M's
I
kinda
am
hot
not fucking with Judi Dench,
She's
dude.
kind of hot for an old lady. She's got
Judi
a
Dench is aggressively British.
Judy
Well,
Dench. Judy Dench can pull that shit off.
Yes. And you don't mess with
An
her.
old lady Judi Dench comes up to you, and she goes, "You're taking me right now."
Yes,
And
queen.
You're gonna do it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You bend
Yes,
the
queen.
knee. You bend the knee.
Yes. If she was Khaleesi, the show would be over.
It's more like, tell Cersei it was me.
But,
You do not mess with Judi Dench, dude.
I think I got a weird crush on Moneypenny.
All right, that's fine.
I don't know why.
And her
for you,
haircut
man.
is atrocious in this movie, but that's okay. It's all right. It is
We've
what it
all
is.
had bad haircuts.
Yeah, we've all gone
I've
through
had
that
bangs
phase.
before.
I liked her in the last movie.
There's pictures.
Much better.
Yeah, there's pictures of me with freaking Lloyd Christmas haircut from when I was a kid,
Oh, bless
with
you.
glasses and
Yeah,
everything.
At least you got hair, dude. I got none. It's brutal.
Oh, I'm working it.
I'm
gonna
like,
have Jude.
I'm down to a 1 gauge on my clippers. I'm just over it.
Anyway, the opening scene for this movie with him like talking to the Swiss banker, like those puns,
Yeah, they were bad.
so bad but so good at the same time.
I don't remember. Hit me with some puns.
Oh shit! What did he say? He's like, maybe you failed to account for my hidden assets.
Oh, I
he
do remember that
He
one.
blows the bomb up. Yeah, like it's awesome. It's pure James. I love it. And Pierce Brosnan pulls it off.
Yeah.
And then
there's that assassin girl in the bank room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Don't do it.
she's
Don't
called the-
blow us up.
She's called the cigar girl, right?
Yeah, the cigar girl. Yeah. Moneypenny, again, there's another another pun where he brings the cigar back. I brought something just for you, Moneypenny.
it's
And
so
he brings the
pretty.
cigar. It's
Oh,
like,
and I love it when she's like, I know just what to do with that.
yeah, she
And I was
throws
like,
it
oh
away.
shit, Money
I
Penny.
think that's the thing I like about her is she doesn't
give a
She doesn't
shit.
give a shit. He sexually harasses her so hard,
And
in
she-
every single
she
Bond
gives it
movie,
right back to
and
him,
She
though.
just
She
loves
is
it.
super into it.
Oh,
though.
she's so into it, and I think that's why I like her because she just she's
Not to be confused with when you're sexually harassing
Yeah.
someone at work and they're not
yeah.
into it.
Well, if,
Stop doing
if
that.
Bond looked like Danny DeVito, he'd be hit up by HR by now.
oh for sure.
Yeah, but no, it's Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
I'd let Pierce Brosnan hit on me. Have you seen him lately?
Who?
His freaking beard is on point, bro.
Ooh,
Pierce
Pierce
Brosnan.
Brosnan. Yeah,
Shit.
he's aged well.
His beard is freaking.
I remember him
aged
from
well.
Fire Saga.
He did a movie recently. It was just a cash grab for him. I'll straight up say,
Listen-
but it
listen,
had
man.
Dave Bautista in it.
Pierce Brosnan is just blessed with good looks.
Good
Yeah.
genes. Yeah.
He's got some good DNA going on. So
forgot-
I'm jealous.
Oh, good for
So,
him.
yeah.
See, which one are you looking at?
He's got the Colonel Sanders.
Oh
thing.
no, not that one. No. I mean, it's a good Colonel Sanders, but no, there's a picture of him with a full beard. It's a black and white photo. I was like, God damn. No, not that one either. I'll show you in a minute. Anyway,
Keep scrolling. Please continue your conversation.
this opening scene with the boat chase,
the boats, yeah.
so freaking good.
This was pretty good.
This is the best boat chase I've ever seen on film.
This is the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I disagree with that, but like typically when I see a boat chase in a movie, I'm very bored because it's like boats. It's not as visceral as cars.
They don't
right?
go fast.
Too many boats, not enough hose.
Yeah, but in this movie, like this is the most engaging, kind of like interesting boat chase I think I've ever seen put to film, and rewatching it, it's great. There's a moment where Bond takes the boat underwater and he like just fixes his tie as he's underwater.
And the music hits right then, like down.
And that's the thing that Brosnan brought to the character. Like if you
Right.
look at every movie that he's in, he always just kind of like takes a moment to fix his tie.
Yeah.
But that was like a choice moment because he's underwater and he's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah. He's such a badass. Like he doesn't even give a shit that what's going on. He's like, I gotta look good while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
He's so smugly charismatic.
See,
I
here's-
love it.
Here's the thing about this movie, though. I watched this movie just a couple days ago, and I don't really remember what it was about.
It doesn't matter. No, it's about an oil
you know
pump.
what- you
It's
know
an
what I mean?
oil pipeline.
Well,
That's how disinterested I was after
Really?
watching this movie. It just
no, I
it
love
kind
this
of
movie.
bored me.
Actually,
man.
this movie was based off of the book Goldfinger,
Mhm.
and the plot to Goldfinger, the villain plot is basically the same as this movie's, where this movie basically just took Goldfinger's plot and changed it from gold to oil,
Yeah.
and that's what,
Well,
what
there
it is.
isn't even.
These,
Oh.
they're kind of cookie cutter movies, right? It's just
There's a scene in this movie where somebody dies from being suffocated by oil, right? Isn't there an oil chick in this movie? Or no, that
Oh,
was
no,
Quantum
you're-
of Solace.
yeah.
That's a Daniel Craig thing. Never mind. Sorry. They should have done
Well,
that. in
Robbie
this one.
Coltrane almost drowned in oil in this movie. So
Who?
In his calamari or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. Calamari. He had his own brand.
I mean, like it was what do you call it? He was reprising his character from Goldeneye.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, he double crosses Bond in this movie, and Elektra tries to assassinate him, and he's kind of in this pool of oil, and Bond is kind of like going to let him drown unless he gives up like you know, what he did for Elektra. But this is actually my favorite Brosnan Bond movie.
It's really good.
Like it's, even though I think Goldeneye is probably a better movie, for whatever reason, this movie just to me is the best of his offering. I think what it has to do is the shootout in the nuclear test silo. And Robert Carlyle plays the kind of the main bad guy. What's his name? Renard.
Yeah.
And basically Renard, the British government tried to assassinate him, and he has a bullet lodged in his brain, and the bullet's slowly making its way to like his to like the center of his brain, which is eventually going to kill him. But as the bullet moves through his brain, it knocks out like his senses. So
He
like
basically gets superpowers.
Yeah.
well, he can't feel pain. He can't feel.
He can
like
push
cold
himself
or, like,
harder
whatever.
and farther than any other man.
Yeah,
I love that
like
scene.
even though his body like takes damage, like he can't feel it.
Yeah.
And so like that makes him kind of like a formidable opponent, because when you're fighting him, like, he's not going to register all the damage he's taking.
oh, so he's like the dude that Deadpool fought.
Yeah.
So in the silo, where they're having the shootout, Renard's trying to steal this nuclear bomb, and Bond has to kind of fight his way through all of his henchmen and get to him. And there's a moment there where Renard gets into this elevator and the door closes, and Bond just comes up and just like fucking shoots him like right square in the eyes. But the bulletproof glass of the elevator stops the bullet, and there's just like this like bullet hole where like the bullet impacted, and Renard's just like looking at Bond like he owns him, and it's just such a great like hero versus villain moment. Like to me, I always get chills when I watch that scene, because it's such the embodiment of what I think a good spy movie is, which is versus like these super bad guys.
The strong suit of this movie, I think, is there's always, in any Bond movie, there's always the intellectual challenge and the physical challenge. So normally in a Bond movie, you have the henchman is the physical challenge, and he has to go up against, like the Sean Connery had to go up against the freaking big Asian dude with the hat, or Jaws or somebody like that. That's the physical challenge. The main bad guy is the mental challenge, where he has to overcome them using his wits. So there's always two elements to every Bond movie. In this one, I loved when you start the movie out, you're thinking like, oh, Renard is the freaking mental challenge, and he has to fight him off. He has to figure out a way to beat him. And then all of Renard's henchmen, just like basically the Russian bad guys, the no-name freaking para pilots or whatever, like those are the physical challenge. And then like halfway through the movie flips, and it turns out that Renard is the physical challenge.
Yeah, he's the henchman.
And Elektra King is the mastermind behind it all. I freaking love that how the tables turn.
And this was one of those few times where like the main villain is a woman for a Bond movie.
Is also the femme fatale I love saying that.
Femme fatale.
The femme fatale. I love saying that.
I really enjoyed the relationship between Elektra and Renard.
Yeah.
And like how the flip side to him having his superpower is that
He can't feel pleasure.
he can't feel anything.
Yeah.
And he's just saying he's just like whispering sweet nothings in her ear while they're in bed. And he's like, you're so this and you're so that and you're so smooth and you're so sensual. And she just
She's
goes,
like, how do you know?
How do you know?
Yeah. She's so cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that scene in the silo where Renard sets off the bomb and James Bond has to, like, you know, escape it as the explosion's coming after him. Sean Connery was actually on set during that day when Brosnan was doing that stunt.
That's awesome.
And so, like, he was there and he watched Brosnan do the stunt. And afterwards, he came up and he's like, I don't think they're paying you enough.
I didn't know he was on set for this movie. That's so freaking cool, man.
Did they offer him a bunch of whiskey or something?
And a tailored suit.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my gosh. I mean, if I was Brosnan, right?
I love stories like that.
Yeah, I do too. Like I imagine myself as being Brosnan. You're on set. You're doing this cool stunt. You're James Bond. Freaking Sean Connery comes up and compliments you on a scene
I
you
feel
just
like
did.
there's
I would
probably
be
like
so nervous.
Oh, dude, I'd be like, oh my God, dude.
I feel like
he
there's
said they're not paying you enough because he almost got incinerated
Burnt?
by
Yeah.
a fireball.
Go ahead.
I feel like there's probably like a brotherhood of Bond actors.
Bonds? Yeah.
The
It's like- it's like
Brotherhood of Bonds.
They probably all get together at
Who's
like
left right
some
now?
island somewhere and hang out.
Because Connery's.
well, Dalton, I think Lazenby's still alive.
Yeah. So you got Connery's gone, but you got Craig, you got
There's just
Pierce.
hot chicks dancing
Roger-
on the
Roger-
horizon.
Yeah, Roger Moore died not too long.
It was 2010 or 11 or
Yeah.
something like that. I remember seeing something about him.
Listen,
Oh.
on the Isle of Bond, there is no time.
That's right.
There is no death. There is only Bond.
Can you write
And
a
martinis.
poem? Can you write a poem and then like whisper it in my ear
Yes,
sometime?
One thing I wanted to point out is that I really like the opening song
Yes,
of this movie,
yep.
probably more than any of the other ones. It was done by the band Garbage. So like it's kind of emo, but at the same time I feel like it works. I just love the world is not enough
Yeah,
as
the
like
world
the
is
slogan.
not-
I'm not
it's-
hearing that in my head right now. You're gonna have to refresh my memory.
I'm not going to sing it for you,
no,
but you can listen to it later.
no. I'll listen to it later.
I am
But it-
terribly
See, and that's the thing.
over.
And that's the thing I have about this whole movie is I'm not remembering anything about this movie.
It's too forgettable.
And I just watched it. I don't remember the plot.
It does feel like it's way too long.
You know what I mean? It's just like I watched 3 movies this week, and I feel like I watched the same movie 3 times.
The thing that's
And
way
so
too,
things are getting intermixed and interchanged with me in my head.
the thing that's way too long in most of these movies is the music video at the beginning. Like, I know you love the song and that's fine, but like I don't get why there has to be a full production of the music video
It's a-
before we
it's
get
a
to the
Bond
movie.
It's a legacy thing.
Fine, but it's too long.
No, see, this
It's
is
so
this is
long.
another one where like, okay, I like I said, I base the opening
Yeah.
music on whether or not I'm going to enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
I love this opening song.
You start off a Bond movie by testing yourself.
Yes.
It's like there's certain things with Bond movies that you have to have. You have to have the opening action sequence.
Mhm.
You have to have
It's
the
usually a
looking-
chase.
The looking down the barrel of the scope where he points
Yeah.
and goes,
Yeah.
dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. You know, and you have to have the credit scene with the music. It's just
It's a legacy.
If those aren't in a Bond movie,
It's not a Bond
it's
movie.
not a fucking Bond movie.
And speaking of legacy, so this was the last time that Desmond Llewellyn played the role of Q.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep.
they introduced John Cleese, who in this movie was R, but he became Q later
If
on.
you're Q, does that make
Yes.
him? Aw.
But one of the things I found interesting was that I always thought that Desmond Llewellyn just died of old age, but he actually died in a car accident.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Which is why this was like his last one. But
How Bond of him.
Right?
they set it up so like this was like a nice like goodbye to his character.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
Even though they had planned to bring him back for the next movie.
The last line that he says in this movie is so freaking awesome, and I like I said, I didn't know if they like had planned him never coming back because his health was failing or whatever. But like he was like, "I've always tried to teach you 2 things, Bond: never let them see you bleed, and always have an escape plan." And then he drops down into the freaking the pool table. I'm like, that you could not ask for a better freaking send off.
What
dude.
an exit.
What an exit. And then it's awesome. I freaking loved it. It's one of my favorite moments in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of any Bond
He
movie.
gets really mad at Bond for ruining his retirement plan.
That was my retirement boat.
Not for you. That boat was very Batman.
Oh, pipe down,
It was
007.
totally a bat boat.
Oh, yeah.
It absolutely was.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
he always gets on his case about like futzing with his lunch.
Yeah, don't touch that. That's my lunch. It's freaking so freaking awesome.
Can we talk about Denise Richards a little bit more?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Do we have to?
Yeah. We do have to.
So she was
Christmas Jones.
She was the first Bond girl to ever be nominated for a Razzie.
That's fair.
I hope she won.
But they dressed her because around the time Laura Croft and Tomb Raider were very popular, so they modeled her character after Laura Croft.
God damn it,
in
Hollywood.
this movie. And it's kind of funny because she's like in her like mid-20s.
Yeah,
and she's
a nuclear physicist
physicist.
working in Russia,
Yeah.
Get out of here.
dismantling bombs. It's
and looking like Denise Richards.
she's in her freaking like her quarantine suit or whatever. She takes it off. She's wearing a tank top and
This
short.
much of her face is
Yeah.
visible while she's in her quarantine.
And then she
suit.
takes it off. She's in a freaking tank top and short shorts. She might as well have two guns hatched.
no bra.
Yeah, no bra. I'm just like, I mean,
Well, you don't need a bra.
I mean,
what
I'm
the
not
hell?
complaining, but at the
Listen,
same time,
nobody's saying Denise Richards isn't just like gorgeous.
yeah.
But man,
You need to work a little harder.
This movie has my favorite Bond one-liner of all time. And it comes at the very end where he's having sex with Christmas Jones. And he's like, I thought Christmas only came once a year. I mean, what a perfect way to end the movie, right?
She's already heard all of the jokes.
Except for that one.
Do you remember the controversy over Bond having sex with her in this movie?
there was a controversy.
No.
There was a controversy. So it was implied, like early on when we first meet Christmas Jones, because the Russian colonel is talking about her. He's like, every guy has tried to get with her. She's a lesbian, pretty much.
Oh,
And the controversy was like, Bond is so hot as a man. He
turns
can
lesbian
make
straight?
lesbians.
Put that switch.
I got the impression that they all just assumed that she was a lesbian
because-
she didn't want to have sex with any of them.
but the LGBTQ plus community back then basically raised a big stink about it because they're like, how dare like James Bond, turn a lesbian straight, like whatever. And back then you could tell those people to shut up and they'd listen to you.
I was gonna say, I'm like, tough luck, kids.
I mean, not anymore, but like I just remember like when this movie came out and there were lots of news stories about it, but everyone was just kind of like, it's Bond, shut up.
Yeah, really. I don't remember that. But
I think that still applies. It's Bond. Don't worry about it.
Let banging Bonds bang.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, Denise Richards.
smoking hot, terrible actor in this movie.
Oh,
She's
God.
she's
She's so not good.
I just think of her as a Sheen's baby mama now. That's the only thing she is to me.
I still see Starship Troopers.
Well, she was pretty hot, but she was like, she couldn't act in that either.
No, absolutely not.
She shared the screen with Dina Meyer.
Well,
She did.
Dina Meyer's
Half star for Dina Meyer.
Great White Buffalo.
She's an American treasure.
What was that movie she was in with Paul Walker?
fact, I might
it was the
give this-
dinosaur.
Oh, Tina and the Dinosaur? Or
Tina and the T-Rex.
Tina and the T-Rex.
Tina and the
I
T-Rex.
might give this movie an extra half star
Because
just because
third party Dina Meyer.
because she's 3 degrees from Dina Meyer's boobs. And so
I accept those terms.
we'll see. We'll have to see how I go.
Oh my God, you are ridiculous, sir. Oh my gosh.
The only thing that'll make it better is if we get to see her actual boobs. Has she ever actually had her boobs out anywhere?
I think so in that movie with Nev Campbell, right?
Wild Thing?
Wild Things. I'm pretty
Really?
sure she was topless in that.
Because I feel like she's just like the consummate prick tease. So
Are you talking about Christmas Jones?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
Well, I mean, Denise Richards, so in the 90s, like she did Starship Troopers, she did this movie, and then she did Wild Things. And so she was like a really hot commodity at the time. And then people realized beyond her looks, there's really nothing to
She's
it.
like got nothing in the brain.
Yeah.
Well, that's not nice.
That's not nice.
She's not a good actress.
Well,
Okay, well, she's
every
not a
time
good
she
actress.
talks sciencey in this movie, you're just like, no, I don't buy it.
Yeah,
I don't
I
buy
mean,
it.
she can go and be a model, and I'm
All right,
like all
sorry.
for it.
I'm
man.
sorry I'm being mean to Denise Richards because I'm drinking and
Make as much money as you can being a model, but as far as acting goes, like she's so stiff and just not convincing at all. But that also might be the writers. Like when
feel
you're like,
like-
hey, we're gonna have
No.
this freaking nuclear physicist, but we also want her to be a super hot Bond chick.
Okay, but
I-
how hot is Electra King? And she's also
Yeah, but-
killing this role.
Well, she's-
Well, you know who was originally supposed to play Christmas Jones was
Who?
Tiffany Amber Thiessen from
Oh.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
The chick from Showgirls?
No.
No.
Oh,
No, that was Jesse
The
Spano.
one with Zach, the brunette.
Dark hair.
oh, she's in Chuck too, right?
No.
No.
I'm not getting my actor. I'm not a Saved by the Bell person. I have no idea.
I'm
what
not
fucking-
either, but yeah, you should know those chicks.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Sure. The 90s and 80s chicks. Yeah, I'll get right on that.
But
Anyway,
you were like 4 when that.
not my era, dude. I know jack shit about Saved
Yeah,
by the Bell.
but this was the most successful Bond movie up until the next one. It grossed more money than any other Bond movie ever, and I enjoy this movie.
I do too.
I think it's my favorite, not just of the Brosnan Bond, but of all Bonds so far. And admittedly, I think Goldeneye is a little bit better, but to me, like this movie, I mean, the castle that MI6 is running their operation out of is the same one from Highlander. I mean, come on. Michael Apted directed this. He's a very skilled director. The boat chase, best boat chase in any movie I've ever seen. Robert Carlyle kills it. Sophie Marceau is gorgeous. Like, there's just a lot to like about this movie.
I totally agree. This is one of my favorite Bond movies, and everybody's on point. Everybody's on point, except for Denise Richards.
I'll just agree to disagree.
Okay.
I was bored.
Well, let's polish this off then. What do you give it for a rating?
2.5. Yeah.
Wow.
It's middle of the road.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't remember what it was about. And I watched it 3 days ago. So that just tells me that I'm kind of like, it was kind of forgettable.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say about it. So,
Jude?
I feel similarly. Like I do remember what it was about, and I was on board throughout it. The only thing that really didn't work for me was Denise Richards. She's just not a good actor.
Yeah.
And I hate her name in it, but that's just my thing. It's
Christmas Jones?
Yeah, it's not the movie's fault. I just didn't like it. But she's just she's a terrible actor in this.
I don't know any Christmas jokes or Doctor jokes.
Doctor jokes.
Christmas Jones.
Christmas Jones.
That's a weird name.
Ridiculous name.
If you're in a Bond movie, they need to be kind of dirty.
That's
like vulva labiosis or something.
Oh, my name is Pussy Galore. No shit.
You know,
she needed to be named something of the female anatomy.
Yeah.
Xena on the top.
Areola something.
Well, no, they had the line "Christmas only comes once a year," and they needed
her
something
for a pun.
Then her name should have been Tits Christmas or something.
I mean, that's how Bond movies are written. I don't know if you know this or not.
So I feel the same way as Peter. It's a 2.5, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
It's like an 2.5-ish.
Okay, all right.
And that's half stars counting. Third degree knowledge.
Third degree, not Dina Meyer.
That's with the extra half star with Dina Meyer somehow involved.
Yeah. If you've ever
because
shared
the
a screen,
actress,
she was in a movie with Dina Meyer.
Yeah. If
So
you've
now
ever
Dina
shared
Meyer
a
had a
screen with
boob.
Dina Meyer, you
shouldn't
get,
that be a quarter star
you
then?
get residual stars.
Okay, I'll give it a quarter star. 2.25.
Okay. I was going to say, because if it's
2.25 star for not having Dina Meyer's boobs in it.
Right.
But somebody was in the movie that was in a movie with Dina Meyer when she had Dina Meyer's boobs out.
6 degrees of Dina Meyer
There we go.
boobs.
Okay.
Your
Yeah,
logic is astounding.
we gotta get Dina Meyer on this show.
she's not going to come on the
We
show.
gotta get her on this
Dude,
show.
we
Not
saw
now.
her. We saw her at the Star Trek thing, and we were like, hey, do you want to come over? She's like, no.
No, fuck you guys.
We're never going to get her on the show.
But we love your boobs. I want to see your boobs.
You got to stop.
You don't understand. We give movies a half a star just for being like within 3 degrees of your tits.
It's not misogynistic at all. It's a compliment.
We gotta figure out how to make a T-shirt of that.
No.
We really do.
Oh, we have 80s tits. Why not Dina Meyer
We did
boobs?
not let you around Dina Meyer ever.
It's like, how you doing?
No, dude. No.
Yes. All right.
If he was ever within like a half mile of Dina Meyer,
Here's what would
his
happen.
hands, without his knowledge, would
he
come up and
was.
he'd just be like,
I would clam up like a
Yeah, you'd
12-year-old
be
kid.
embarrassed. You'd be like, oh shit, I can't believe I said all that weird ass shit.
Nice boobs. Okay. All right, Matt. What do you give it?
Kadish?
Like I said, this is my favorite of all the Bonds, and I'd give it 3 tits Christmases out of 5.
It's Christmas.
So like this is a guilty pleasure movie for me. I definitely really like this film.
For me, this is pretty much on level with Goldeneye. I find it just as much enjoyable. The puns are the same. Like, everybody's on point. The adventure is the same. Russians are the bad guys. I'm good to go. I'll give it. What did I do? The first one, 3.5, or 3.
No,
I can't
3.5.
remember.
Yeah,
3.5.
It was 3.5.
I'll give this one 3.5 martinis out of 5. It's a really, really fun movie. Brosnan's on point. I love it.
How's that martini feeling?
I'm having to really slow down.
I'll get you water.
Thank you. All right, guys. Before we move on to the last Die Another Day, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, before we move into the last movie in today's episode, I'd like to remind everybody, go to saltynerdclub.com and join the Salty Nerd community. We have a fantastic group of people over there that we chat with every single day, and it's growing. We've got new people coming in all the time, and we love our community over there. Salty Nerd Club, that is where we get to hang out with our fans of the podcast. We get to chat. There's a lot of interactions. I know there's people always tell us that like you go to somebody else's Discord and they're like not really there. And it's just kind of like people who are all fans. We as a podcast, we're there every single day. That's where we go to communicate with people who like the podcast. So join up if you want to chat with us. That's where the fun happens. We do all kinds of cool stuff over there. saltynerdclub.com. Okay, last movie on our list today. Oh my gosh, this one's rough.
Which one is this?
Die Another Day.
Guess
Right?
I'll die another day.
Okay.
So which one was
I've had
this?
this stupid song stuck in my head.
This is
all
the
week.
last movie that he did as
So
Bond.
the problem is they're all running in together with me.
Yeah.
So who was the bad guy and what was the plot?
It was
I'll tell you when I do the synopsis.
Yeah, there you go. Jude, take it away. What is this movie all about?
2002, Die Another Day. Rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours, 13 minutes.
Feels like 8 hours.
Yeah.
It does. It feels really long.
Yeah.
The budget for this was $142 million. What do you think this made?
It probably made 200, but I don't think it deserved it.
$410,000 million.
$431.9
Are you kidding me?
million.
Oh, fuck this
I
movie.
won that one.
Halle Berry.
It's the highest grossing James Bond film.
That's ridiculous.
Just
that
goes to
is-
show you, people will watch whatever.
That is 100% riding the coattails
you
of
just gotta-
Goldeneye and Tomorrow, or the World Is Not Enough.
You ready?
You just gotta slap Bond on the title and it makes money.
Okay, this movie's aggressively
I
bad.
think what helped was the marketing was Halle Berry in that bathing suit in all of the posters.
yeah.
Also, this movie made like $170 million just off of product placement alone. So like it was in the green before it even started shooting.
Oh, with like
Was there some Pepsi cans in this?
no, it was Aston Martin,
Aston Martin.
whatever you British people say.
There were like 21 different companies that paid millions of dollars to have their products featured in this movie.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Gone Girl is a double agent responsible for betraying James to a Norwegian diamond mogul who's actually a North Korean diamond kingpin who changed his name, face, and accent. Gustav Graves is all Brit on the outside and all evil laser blood diamond guy on the inside. He's got a score to settle and a father to reunite with, but James Bond and Halle Berry are on the mission to save the world from giant freaking lasers and guys with diamonds in their cheeks. Also, Madonna is a very important fencing coach. Please discuss.
This movie is trash.
So bad.
This is the one with the sun laser.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude,
Okay.
this movie is so aggressively
and the guy
bad.
with the pins in his face.
Yes.
And shit. Okay.
Yeah, because he blew up a grenade and the diamonds were there and it
Yeah.
went into his face. Like, oh, remember the guy with the expensive acne? Fuck you.
Listen, this was a fucking
Awesome.
this was an Austin Powers movie.
And much like
It
how
kind of was.
It really was.
in the last one we talked about, like Denise Richards was beautiful, but she's a terrible actor.
Yeah.
Halle Berry is beautiful and she's a great actor, but she was really boring
Oh,
as a
she
Bond
was
girl.
so bad. The puns that they back and forth, like their whole conversation
It had zero chemistry.
was just sexual
Yeah.
puns that had no chemistry. Exactly. Thank you. I'm like, these people should not be having sex. It doesn't make any
And
sense.
also at the end, like they're having sex on top of diamonds. I was like, that would be
That would
super
hurt.
annoying.
No, thank you.
Oh my God,
Is
the whole-
my response to that.
So, okay. My barometer for Bond movies. Can I sit through the opening musical? No.
I don't even
It's
remember
like-
them having
So
one.
this Madonna song was voted.
Oh, it was Madonna.
It was Madonna.
The
Yeah.
other day. And it's got like the auto-tune
Auto-tune.
bullshit.
It's been voted the worst Bond song of all the Bond movies,
I
and
concur.
it won the Golden Raspberry for worst song
Dude,
that year.
It's so aggressively 1990, whatever the hell. Like,
2002, man.
oh, no, it's so bad. Like the auto-tune.
2002.
Everything about the opening sequence. That's what, when I was watching this movie and I must have had like PTSD or something because I heard this song and I was like, oh no, this is the shitty Bond movie. Like it's so aggressively
Just
bad.
want you guys to all know that Kadish did this to us.
He would.
We have
No. What we did.
And we have North Koreans instead of Russians now, right?
But that's okay. I mean,
they're still
the villain.
communist.
Yeah, the villain is fine. It's not a big. That's not what challenges this
Can
movie.
we talk about the fact that the main villain was actually a North Korean who was pretending to be a Brit?
Yes.
Because he changed his face.
Yeah, because they did Face Off with John Travolta,
Face off.
Yeah.
They used gene therapy to actually alter the guy's DNA to change him from North Korean to white British
they
guy.
literally
Caucasian.
whitewashed the villain.
And
Nice.
he like reunites with his father who thought that he had been dead this whole time.
Yeah.
And his accent is still British. Amazing.
So bad.
Yeah.
God, so
How long do we have to talk about this movie?
not long. Not long.
Stay salty, my friends. Enjoy your day.
Yeah.
Is Moneypenny? I don't remember. Is Moneypenny hot in this one?
I don't even remember.
Well,
She's still got that haircut.
There's a funny story here where Pierce Brosnan talked about how one time he was in a pub and this guy comes up and he's like, Mr. Brosnan, I'd like to shake your hand. And so he's like, oh, okay. He thinks he's a fan. He shakes his hand. The guy's like, this is the closest my hand will ever come to Halle Berry's ass. And Brosnan was just like,
Oh, no.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
I would be all right with that.
He's like sticking diamonds in her belly button. She's like, please
Don't-
leave it in,
Don't
James.
take it out. Don't take it. So no, weird. Okay, so
and they're in like some weird remote Buddhist temple, like having sex with on top of diamonds.
an
makes
erect
sense.
So
helicopter,
weird.
isn't it?
Well,
Isn't
that
it?
was like the very end scene
Yeah,
of the movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Halle Berry, I remember the marketing for this movie was all about Halle Berry in the legacy
was.
bikini
Yeah.
from the Sean Connery
playing
movie.
Jinx, yeah.
Yeah, playing like everything was about Halle Berry being in this movie. And then when I see her and she comes out and she's in the freaking orange bikini with the little diving knife, I'm like, God, she looks great. And then
Yeah.
everything after that,
You
horrible.
you can't ever tell anybody that Halle Berry isn't hot.
No, she's gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
She's terrible. in this
really is.
movie.
Well, they were actually going to do a spin-off with her, like where she was going to be the main character as like a female spy spin-off series. But around the time that this movie came out, you had Charlie's Angels Full Throttle and Lara Croft Tomb Raider The Cradle of Life.
Both terrible movies.
And both were like big box office failures. And so Hollywood was like, oh, people aren't ready for female action stars. So like they just shelved it. And Halle Berry was so passionate about it. She's like, I'll do it for free. Let's just make this movie. And Hollywood's like, no.
When did Catwoman come out?
I have no idea.
It was in the early 2000s for
Yeah,
sure.
it was.
I'll look it up.
'Cause
But
we
like
had-
every woman in this movie is also a secret spy. And like, where's my femme fatale? Where's my evil bad
Well, the
girl?
femme fatale is Gone Girl chick.
Yeah,
but I didn't
this was
care.
Rosamund
She was
Pike's.
also sorry.
This was Rosamund Pike's first movie.
Really?
Yeah, like this was her debut film as a Bond girl.
Who was
my
she?
God.
In this?
She was also an MI6
Frost.
agent though.
Agent Frost.
Miranda Frost.
She was the blonde sidekick to the main bad guy.
Man, okay.
You remember? She's the fencing coach.
Again,
Actually,
I just
she
watched
was
these.
just a fencing girl.
Yeah, okay, I
Madonna
remember.
was the fencing coach.
Madonna? Madonna's in this movie?
Yes.
How do you not know Madonna's
I
in
put
this
it in
movie?
my synopsis. Madonna is a very important fencing
I thought that was a
coach.
joke.
No.
Who the hell is she in this movie?
She's the fencing coach.
She literally shows
She's
up at the fencing
standing
club.
there like this, and she's like, yes, I've trained her in everything she knows how to
Yeah,
do,
I
Mr.
do.
Bond.
Completely
and then
forgettable.
she makes the introduction.
That was Madonna?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes, that was Madonna. and actually, there was a whole subplot in this movie that was cut out where Madonna and Rosamund Pike's character were actually like lovers. They were like lesbians together.
Oh, of course.
And the director decided to take all that out of the movie because audiences hated Madonna.
The only smart thing he did with this movie was take Madonna out of it.
I'm sorry, but the way that Kadish talks about lesbians cracks me up every single time.
Lesbians.
He's like,
Lesbian
he's
lady
like,
lovers.
He says it like
They're like
he's still
magical
12. He's like,
unicorns.
you guys, they were lesbians.
Lesbians.
And then when he talks about it like it's a disease, he's like, they're lesbianism.
I only use that language because Jude always hates it when I do it. So I like to torture her.
I hate it and it makes me laugh and I hate myself that I'm laughing. Catwoman was 2004.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So it was right after this. Yeah. So she's like, well, fine. If I'm going to be a Bond girl, I'll go be Catwoman. Way to go.
Was she better in that? I don't
No.
remember.
Hey,
No?
was she a lesbian in that movie?
No, she definitely wasn't.
She did fight a chick, though.
You know what? I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either. It was so aggressive. Didn't it?
Don't ever watch it.
Didn't it
It's
win
really
the
bad.
Razzies?
Yeah, it swept the Razzies.
Yeah. It was like, yeah.
Good.
And Halle Berry
Listen.
actually showed up to accept her award.
Listen,
great.
I
I love it.
Like Halle Berry, all the respect in the world because she was in these two awful movies within 4 years of each other, and she still has a career.
What has she done lately?
She, you know what? She has had some highs and lows. She has won Academy Awards. Yeah. She has been in some blockbusters. She's been in indie films. She's a phenomenal actor.
She was in John Wick.
She made some trash.
John Wick 3.
That's right. She was.
Yeah,
she was Dog Girl.
She was gorgeous in that movie.
Listen,
holy shit, I dude, with the German Shepherds.
Yeah.
That freaking movie's awesome.
Yeah.
She does not age.
No, she doesn't.
Beautiful.
I follow her on Instagram. She's freaking hot.
Well,
good for her.
You know what's funny about this movie is that it was based off of the book Moonraker. It's basically like roughly the same kind of like villain plot as Moonraker.
Which Bond was Moonraker? Was that
Roger
Roger Moore?
That was Roger
Okay.
Moore. Yeah. But I think Roger Moore's movie took a big detour from the books as well. This movie just is the epitome of everything that was wrong with Brosnan era Bond. The set pieces were way too long and boring. Like you absolutely didn't care about any of the action scenes that happened in this movie. The villains were really over the top. The puns were really bad. I mean, like there's a line at the beginning where James Bond grabs this bell right before his hovercraft goes over this waterfall. And
Saved
he's like,
by the
Saved
bell.
by the Bell.
Oh my God.
But the thing that got me,
Which would have been awesome if Tiffany Ann Berthieson had been in this.
the thing that got me the worst was that, so at the beginning of this movie, James Bond is captured and he's held in a North Korean jail for like 18 months, being tortured every day. Yep. And then like they do a prisoner exchange where the British government gets him back and they keep him in this super secure hospital facility with like state-of-the-art technology, which he breaks out of within 2 seconds. Meanwhile, he spent 18 months in like a mud hut, concrete North Korean prison. I'm like, how could he not have escaped when it takes him 2 seconds to get through like the highest tech security the British government has to offer?
My headcanon says that he was still suffering from that shoulder injury from the last movie.
He just wanted time to repair himself or something?
He needed it.
I don't know. This movie's aggressively bad. Like it makes me ashamed to like the other Pierce Brosnan movies. Like, cause I do. I legit like Goldeneye, Tomorrow Never Dies, and The World Is Not Enough. I love those movies. This movie is hot garbage.
Yeah, like every single James Bond actor, from Sean Connery to Roger Moore to Pierce Brosnan himself, came out publicly and said this movie's garbage. Yeah, it's our least favorite Bond movie. Oh. Roger Moore was especially like insulted by this movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he hated it.
He's not alone.
It's almost a parody of a Bond.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, I mean they went
if this was a Austin Powers movie,
it'd be hilarious.
We'd probably love it.
This was the last Pierce Brosnan.
Yes.
Yeah. I think there was an actual moment when the producers of this movie were watching it at a screening, and they pulled to George Lucas and said, "We may have gone a bit too far."
Yeah. So I want to talk about a little bit about how they passed the torch from Brosnan to Craig, because I remember listening to an interview with Brosnan. He's like, we did Die Another Day, whatever this movie's called. He's like, nobody really liked it. It was what it was, and I was fully expecting to come back for at least one more to kind of like redeem myself to end on a high note. And he's like, and then I read in the tabloids or I read in the news somewhere that Daniel Craig was the new James Bond. They didn't even freaking call him. They didn't call Brosnan and say,
really?
Hey, yeah, nothing, not a word. He found out about the new Bond the same way the audience did.
That's kind of rude.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, man, they did him dirty.
Was his contract up? Or
I don't know how that works as far as contract goes, but I just remember him saying like, yeah, I really was looking forward to doing at least one more to kind of redeem myself.
It's not like the MCU. It's like where it's like you're contractually obliged
for like 9 videos
to do like 6 MCU movies and then, so I don't know.
So we talked about how this was Rosamund Pike's like debut film. Her very first scene was the one that she did with Dame Judi Dench. Can you imagine being like a fledgling actress and your first scene is
good for her?
Yeah, good for her.
Good for her.
Judi Dench is the only redeeming part of this movie. I don't know what else to say about this movie. It's bad. There's not anything good about this movie.
No,
even the gadgets are over the top and ridiculous, like the invisible car and shit.
It's hokey.
Like it's hokey. The CGI is terrible.
The music video is awful.
The music
song
video
is awful.
Yeah. How long did that stupid like glacier action scene last?
My God, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, the sun laser was like following him across the glacier, hauling ass 100 miles per hour. Then it gets to the edge, and it's like the laser beam slows down too.
Yeah, and then it stops.
It's like,
and he gets out, and then he surfs a wave.
Yeah. Well, they did set the surfing thing up.
Parasails too.
Yeah, parasail, whatever.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I miss Famke Jensen.
But
I do too.
But the big threat was a giant freaking laser.
Giant freaking laser beam.
Giant freaking laser.
And originally it was called Solaris, but they had to change it to Icarus because at the time George Clooney was making a movie called Solaris.
Oh, that movie is hot garbage.
Oh, it's George Clooney. Oh, I thought you said George Lucas for a minute.
Wait, that's
Wait,
a guy
what?
we haven't talked about on the show ever.
Clooney?
Yeah.
He makes some good movies.
We'll have to do a Clooney week.
Not Batman. Please don't make me watch
Ocean's
Batman.
11 week?
Maybe.
Okay, I'm all right with that.
Okay.
Please, God, don't make me watch freaking Batman.
Someday.
I will die. I will
So
die.
anyway,
But-
James Bond.
Yeah.
The Toby Stevens character, Gustav Graves, at the end, he's basically in a suit of power armor, going like fist fighting with James Bond, and it's the most ridiculous climax. It's like this movie has two climaxes to it. The first is on the glacier, where they are in that ridiculous ice hotel for like a big part of
Hey,
the
that's a
movie.
real thing, man.
And then they go up into a plane and have like a huge action set piece. And the entire time I'm just sitting there, I'm like, please end. This is the most boring action I think I've ever seen in my
100%.
life.
It's like if I wanted to watch an airplane fight scene, I'd go turn Air Force One on.
Get off my plane. Wouldn't that be great if you would have said that? Get off this plane.
And then punches him.
him in the face. Also, Halle Berry in that scene where she's fighting Agent Frost and she says, I don't know, read this bitch or something like.
Yeah.
It's so cringy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
Michael Madsen's in this movie for some reason.
Oh, he's the dumb American CIA guy.
He's the dumb CIA guy.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tarantino dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What is he doing in this movie?
He's
He doesn't belong in this
Pussy
movie.
Christmases or whatever her name is. Boss.
It's Christmas.
What?
Pussy Christmas. that sounds like a holiday I'd like to celebrate.
It's Christmas.
Tits Christmas.
Clitoris Christmas.
Clitter Christmas.
Should we just rename the terribly
I know.
named Bond girls? Anyway,
I think it's been done.
this movie is just it's terrible from beginning to end. I cannot.
I think it's funny you didn't recognize Madonna.
Yeah,
I honestly,
I didn't either.
Talk about a stunt casting piece.
I'm gonna be
when she turned around, like I remember when I saw this in the theater, when she turned around, everyone in the theater was like, "Oh," it was like a collective groan.
I'm sorry. Even though you told me what part of the movie she's in, I cannot picture it in my
I
head.
still don't see it.
I still don't see
sent
it.
you both the picture.
Did
of
you?
her. Yes.
Dude, I don't mess
All
with my
right,
phone. when we're
I'm
recording.
going to fast
Yeah,
forward.
fast forward this episode. So we're watching it. As you guys know, we always watch the movies that we're talking about on the screen right next
That's
to us.
Madonna?
Just to kind of remind us of what's going on. So Katie's just going to fast forward to the scene where we see
you
Madonna.
skipped it.
I
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
There she is.
Where?
Right there.
That's her?
Yes.
In the black?
Yes.
Turn around.
Yeah, it's her.
Look at your.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, shut the fuck. Get out of here. She's freaking fencing with James
It
Bond.
looks like they've put some spackle on her face to make her look better.
Put some Vaseline on the
Well, it
lens.
was
Yeah,
fucking
something.
20 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
Honestly,
I'm
I
not
think
a fan.
she still looks like that.
Well, that's. Oh, she was the corset chick?
Yeah.
Can you tighten me, Mr. Bond? Ugh.
Like, okay, I've worn a corset before. They don't
they're fun.
magically come undone.
Oh, this is also the only movie to ever have James Bond and Monty Penny have a sex scene together.
Well, that was a hologram, though, right?
Yes,
Yes,
it was a holographic
It's on the
training
holodeck.
program.
I was so turned on during that scene, dude.
I bet you were.
I was like, oh,
I
James.
was so confused.
He's so lucky right now. It's like, yeah, get it. Get that money penny.
You're so weird, dude.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's it for this movie. I can't talk about it
Yeah.
anymore.
That
It's
is
so
it.
it's aggressively bad. Don't watch this one. Go watch the other three. I feel really bad for Pierce Brosnan for not being able to have at least one more time to kind of like redeem himself.
But
Retribution.
Madonna taint ruined this movie.
Well,
Yeah.
the story behind that was like they wanted to do Casino Royale as their next movie, and because it happens early on in Bond's career, they're like, well, Pierce Brosnan's too old, so
Yeah.
we need a younger guy, and
That's fair.
That's when Craig came into the
Fair.
picture.
But I'm
So Craig was immediately after
Yeah.
Brosnan.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when did the first Craig movie come out? 2010 or something?
I didn't realize he's been Bond as long as he has.
So he's
Wow.
the second Bond to have an entire decade to himself, which was
yeah.
the 2000s.
I need to get updated on the Bond movies.
He gets a millennium.
I really enjoy Craig's Bond.
Never seen one.
You should watch Casino Royale.
They're terrible.
They're not terrible.
They're my least. They're
I
bad.
sense a future show.
I don't rely on Kadish to tell me what's
I,
good.
I think I've fallen asleep through every
Listen.
Craig Bond
You
film.
fell asleep through all of these too.
No, in the theater.
Watch Casino Royale. That's the best. He put his best foot forward with that
I
one.
have seen that one, and it's good.
It's really good.
But if he peaks at the first movie, that doesn't say anything for the rest of them.
That's a legitimate argument.
Kate
But we'll
just
talk
wants me
about
to
it.
Go see the new one. That's Craig, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about it next time on Bond Week.
Are we
So,
gonna-
it's going to be his
grading
last
this thing?
one.
I forgot. It's a 1-star crab fest. I'm sorry. Is it not?
Oh, I forgot.
It's a 1-star crab fest, Vader. There's no Dina Meyer. There's no
okay.
quarter star.
Yeah.
1-star crab fest. Jude.
Well, because my credo is if it made me angry.
Oh, that's right.
And it did not make me angry, but it was way longer than it needed to be, and it felt even longer than that. So
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 1.5, I guess.
Okay.
It's not good.
Mr. Cage.
This is indeed a 1-star Madonna crap fest. So yeah,
How many Madonnas out of 5?
one big Goldeneye Madonna.
Give her a golden eye.
Weirdo.
Well,
yeah,
you
for
said
me,
it sounds like a weird. sex
okay, yeah, that's Kata. She's weird. Yeah, this is a 1-star crab fest. This is my least favorite of probably all the Bond movies.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
down there.
Wow.
It's on the
That
very.
actually
very
gives me hope because I was assuming that there was a lot on this par.
It depends on how willing you are to forgive like goofiness, because there's a lot of older goofy Bond movies. But if you're
I love Goofy.
but if you're okay with that, they're good.
The Goofy makes them better.
Yeah, because I really liked the Sean Connery ones.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Sean Connery goofy. This is more the Roger Moore stuff.
All
I
right.
would never to his
So
face
1
call him
star.
Goofy.
It's a 1 and
It's dead.
1/4 star crap
Bury
fest.
it. Never talk about it again. This is the Crystal Skull of Bond movies.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Exactly.
What's the Crystal Skull?
Exactly.
Oh, I think that's
I-
a vodka.
I've never heard of this before.
I haven't
Exactly.
either.
Call Dan Aykroyd. I'm sorry.
you
I'm hitting.
stop hitting your mic.
Clank.
Okay, guys, that's it. We're done. We're gonna leave. We got.
no, we got some
We have
stuff
to do
to
the
do.
Q&A.
Yeah, we got the Q&A.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. So for our club members, oh gosh, I got pictures of hot chicks in our freaking Q&A session. For our club members, we reached out to them. We wanted them to ask us questions, and we have a Discord set up for our patrons for Q&As. So let's see. The first question on our list is from Tensyr, Tensyr. Thank
No,
you for.
just really quick. This is about our previous.
Yes, this is about the
SMP.
Ghostbusters episode, which is our
Okay.
10
Probably need to specify that.
105, SMP 105,
No, 103, I think. It was 103 or 104.
whatever.
Okay.
One of the previous episodes. We're professionals here, guys.
That's right.
He says, where does the trivia come from? This is directed to Mr. Kadish. Is it just general internet search, IMDb? Where else? It was a great episode. I started watching parts of it again, and Jude telling Salty to get out was quite funny because I had
had a
never,
good time, too.
Yeah, I had never seen Ghostbusters before, and she told me to leave. So, Mr. Kadish, where do you get your trivia from?
Your fun facts.
So I actually do a lot of research before each show into the movies that we're talking about. Some movies have more information available about them than others, but I tend to go to Wikipedia, Internet Movie Database. I look at articles, so I do Google, and I just go to Reddit and just try to find interesting, like kind of fun tidbits about the movies to inform me about like the making of them and the kind of like interesting anecdotes and things like that. Because me personally, I find that fascinating. Movies are always more than just what we see on the screen. It's about what went in behind them, the politicking, the personalities, and all that stuff. And sometimes you don't get that by watching the movie. So I like to dive a little bit deeper into it and find those little factoids.
You watch a lot of docs too, right?
Yeah, I go on YouTube and I search for if there's any like behind the scenes or documentaries to it and stuff like that.
Okay. Next question is from the man, the myth, the legend, Nick, the Backyard TARDIS, the S&P Time Lord himself. So the question based on Ghostbusters podcast, now that you have watched all 3 big G's of the 80s for the podcast, how would you rank them? So Goonies, Ghostbusters, and Gremlins. Three
that's
80s
easy.
movies that we've talked about on the podcast.
Super easy.
How would you rank them? I'll go ahead, Vader.
You want me?
Yeah, go first.
Ghostbusters 1, Goonies 2, and Gremlins 3.
Okay, that's fair.
Simple.
I would agree with that ranking.
I don't put those in the same category. I'm sorry. Gremlins is my all-time favorite Christmas movie.
You and your categories. You cannot mix.
Die Hard is the all-time best Christmas movie.
I agree with
I'm
Kadish.
sorry, but it's my turn. Goonies is a feel-good adventure movie, and Ghostbusters is just the best movie.
So it's Ghostbusters, Goonies, and Gremlins?
Okay, if I have to put them all in the same category, it's Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Goonies.
Okay, cool. Kadish, you said you agreed with Vader?
Yeah, I'm with Vader on his
Ghostbusters, Goonies, Gremlins?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's Ghostbusters, and the other two movies don't exist.
Okay.
But you know what? All three of those movies are so good. It's just like in terms of like my enjoyment factor on them, that was the ranking.
Kadish
I'm gonna kill all three of you.
Alex is over here shaking right now. He's like, yeah.
Some movies are hot garbage, guys. Hot, I'm
Like,
sorry.
they don't exist. They don't exist. They don't
It's just
exist.
Non-existent. Non-existent. I have to say,
welcome.
I do have to say, for my first martini ever, it is a solid drink. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's very strong.
It's very strong, but it's very smooth.
Yeah.
You need to put some pickles or something.
I would like an olive next time,
Didn't
but
have any fucking
I'll bring my next olive. I'll bring.
Can
whatever.
you put pickles in martinis?
You can do whatever the hell you want.
Like those little tiny pickles you get at like Trader Joe's?
Sure.
Like
What are those?
You know, if you put an onion in it, it's called a Gibson.
The Cornichons?
Can do a pickle chaser.
You know, I saw. I think I might have sent a TikTok to you,
What?
but it was somebody who mixed
Oh, the pickleback thing?
pickle juice with
Beer.
a beer, and they were like, "Holy shit, this is amazing!"
Hey, are we done?
Oh yeah, we're done. Hey, all right, guys. That's it for James Brosnan's Bond. Thank you
James
guys.
Brosnan's Bond.
James Brosnan Bond.
Who's James Brosnan?
Pierce Brosnan, James Bond. Thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it. Please stay tuned for next week. We're going to do some really cool stuff. And then 2022, guys, is going to be a freaking rocking year for us. So
Yeah.
I'm hitting my microphone. If you guys are in on the ground level, don't forget, we're doing a December only club membership, $30 tier. You guys are getting an exclusive one-of-a-kind hat that's going to be sent to you with a freaking
Limited edition.
limited edition with a little thing of authenticity. What do you call it?
Authenticity of certificate.
We have another question.
We do. Go for it.
Of the original 4 Ghostbusters, who would you bang, kill, marry, and
God.
invite on
Oh,
your
that's
podcast?
right. Okay. Shit. I don't know. I'd marry Bill Murray. I'd kill the Honey I Shrunk the Kids guy.
And Sigourney Weaver.
She's not a
No,
Ghostbuster.
they're talking about Egon, Spengler,
Yeah.
Venkman, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do anything to Louis Tully.
you don't.
He was a Ghostbuster though.
No.
He put the
For
uniform on.
Four.
4 original.
Sigourney Weaver isn't
Yeah.
available.
Damn it. All right.
Spangler,
I'd
Venkman.
marry Dan Aykroyd for good vodka.
Yeah.
Solid choice.
I'd probably kill Spangler because he'd probably drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And then I'd fuck Bill Murray.
Why do they make us do
I
these
can't believe
things?
I said that.
Why do they make these do these
That's going to be a
Why-
soundbite.
Why did that give me such joy? That made me feel things I didn't realize I was going to feel when
Wow.
you said that.
God damn it.
That's why he said that.
I liked it more
You're supposed to
than
say-
I thought I would.
You're supposed to say, I refuse to answer this question on the grounds that
All
I'm
right, Vader,
sober.
you're up. You're up.
You're up, bud.
Man. So I gotta like pretend I'm a chick, right?
If you want.
I'm gonna pretend I'm Vader when I answer.
I think
this.
I think I'll marry Dan Aykroyd just because he's cool. I'll kill Bill Murray, and I'd probably like bang Egon. So yeah, I'll go with that. I hate you guys.
Dude. I'm really curious how this is going to go.
I'm gonna bang Spangler because I think he's weird.
It's some of that weird, strange.
I'm gonna marry Winston because he ends up rich.
Okay,
Oh, that's true.
that's fair.
And who am I gonna kill? I'm gonna kill. Fuck it. I'm gonna kill both Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray because I'm fucking crazy. Kadish?
Kadish.
I guess I'd make a sweet tender love to Winston.
My Winston?
yeah, Winston. Yeah. He's that dark chocolate I really like.
Oh my God.
Wow. No, this
Solid
is-
choice.
Yeah, I
Things
would
got weird.
I would marry Egon,
Okay.
and I would probably kill Bill Murray.
Okay.
So
right.
Bill Murray got killed by all of us, I think.
Well, you can't trust him.
No, I said it. Fuck Bill Murray.
Yeah, he's making tender love to Bill Murray.
Oh my God. Okay, guys, if you want to become a person that can ask us weird ass questions, go to saltyclub.com. Join the club membership. We're doing a new segment at the end of each SMP where we're going to answer questions from our club members. So join the club, help support us, and we can make awesome content for you guys to hang out and check out and listen to and watch on YouTube and all kinds of cool stuff. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review. I'm sorry, I'm really trash right now. So forget about me. 5-star reviews. We're trying to get accredited with Rotten Tomatoes, and the reviews are a requirement. We need 200 of them. So share it with your friends. Let them know.
Yeah, on Apple Podcasts.
On Apple Podcasts.
Because clearly we should be in charge of things, right?
Our opinions matter.
We need to get some splats out there with the freshest. Because the freshest are bullshit. And the splats are
Everybody knows the critics are stupid.
Stupid.
And we could be like the everyday man.
And everybody knows Sigourney Weaver is hot.
Fucking John Campea can fucking do it. We can do it. So fuck that guy.
And don't forget to go to the Saturday Morning Home Gang on our YouTube channel. There were Matt Vader and Matthew Kadish and the Dork Night LV talk about stuff.
That's right.
I see you struggling.
I'm so tired.
Are we gonna...
All right. Yeah, we're done, guys. We're getting out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. Vader, where can they find you on the socials? Just go. You
can find me at Matt Vader 74 at Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and Saturday morning here on the Home Gang. That's
Jude?
it.
Don't look for me. You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And check out our Facebook page or Facebook group, Salty Nerd Podcast on Facebook.
Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. KadishBooks.com takes you to my Amazon page. And also sign up for our newsletter at saltylist.com, because one of these days we're going to get drunk enough to get booted off of YouTube and we're going to need to tell people where else to find us.
I'm your host, Alex, the Salty Nerd. You can catch me on Discord and on Monday nights where we get to talk to interesting people on our live stream.
Case of the Mondays.
Sure. Shout out to Office Space. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Tune in next week where we make more fun content for you. Whatever. Stay salty.